Compounds. You can mix and match elements to create substances. These are called compounds. Atoms join together to create compounds. When elements react, atoms will combine with other atoms to form compounds. Compounds are substances formed from two or more elements, and the atoms of each are in fixed proportions through the compound and are held together by chemical bonds. Making bonds involves the atoms giving away or taking or sharing electrons. Only the electrons are involved, and the nuclei of the atoms are not affected at all when a bond is made. It is usually very difficult to separate the original elements of a compound out again, and a chemical reaction is needed in order to do this. A compound which is formed from a metal and a non-metal consists of ions. The metal atoms lose electrons to form positive ions, and the non-metal atoms will gain electrons to form negative ions. The positive and negative charges of the ions will mean that they are strongly attracted to each other. This is called ion bonding. Some examples of compounds which are bonded ionically are sodium chloride, magnesium oxide, and calcium oxide. A compound formed from non-metals consists of molecules, and each atom shares an electron with another atom. This is known as covalent bonding. Some examples of compounds that are bonded covalently are hydrogen chloride gas, carbon monoxide, and water. The properties of a compound are usually completely different from the properties of the original elements. Let's look at an example. If iron, which is a magnetic metal, and sulfur, which is a yellow powder, react, the compound formed, which is iron sulfide, is a dull grey solid lump, and it does not behave like either iron or sulfur. As elements are represented as symbols, compounds can be represented by formulas. The formulas are made up of elemental symbols in the same proportions that the elements can be found in the compound. Let's have a look at an example. Carbon dioxide, CO2, is a compound formed from a chemical reaction between carbon and oxygen. It is made up of one carbon atom and two oxygen atoms. Sometimes you might find brackets in a formula, like with calcium hydroxide, CaOH2. The number on the outside of the bracket applies to everything that is inside the bracket. So with calcium hydroxide, it has one calcium atom, two oxygen atoms, and two hydrogen atoms. Some further examples of helpful can be found in your downloadable worksheets.